On the orders of the President of the United States, U.S. Central Command commences Operation Epic Fury.
I'm gonna shoot you right down.
This regime will soon learn that no one should challenge the strength and might of the United States Armed Forces.
He reminded the world, as he has time and time again, being an American means something unbreakable. If you kill Americans, if you threaten Americans anywhere on earth, we will hunt you down without apology and without hesitation, and we will kill you. We didn't start this war, but under President Trump, we are finishing it. Their war on Americans has become our retribution against their ideology.
Iran is run by lunatics, religious fanatic lunatics. They have an ambition to have nuclear weapons. They intend to develop those nuclear weapons behind a program of missiles and drones and terrorism that the world will not be able to touch them for fear of those things. This is the weakest they've ever been. Now is the time to go after them. The president made the decision to go after them, take away their missiles, take away their navy, take away their drones, take away their ability to make those things so that they can never have a nuclear weapon.
Finally, to the great proud people of Iran, I say tonight that the hour of your freedom is at hand. When we are finished, take over your government. It will be yours to take. This will be probably your only chance for generations.
Boom, boom, boom.
On the Fringe with Dan RadioStyle. Hope everybody out there's having themselves a great day. We are in the midst of it seems like a lessening of the conflict, frankly. But we've got a lot of things going on in the world. And certainly this is a time, I think, where it seems Trump is demonstrating to the deep state and all the actors out there, not countries, specific deep state actors. Khomeini was one of them, right? There's a number of them out there. Might be a couple that are on our side of the fence at the moment, too. It is what it is. You don't necessarily, keep your enemies closer until the time is right. And they may not think you know they're an enemy, right? So there's always deception within deception, right? So please understand that there will be some more surprises coming forward in this movie. It's quite a good one. We've got a van that apparently drove through a barricade at the White House, shut a lot of stuff down, and it being a van certainly could have explosive potential. It was not able to get past, I think, the first barricade before they were able to stop it. Here's a little bit of a story on it. Hopefully a story on it. Okay, looks like they took it down. All right, whatever. Guess they stopped it. I don't know why they took down the link. Very strange. All that said, bad bots are a big part, or bigger part of the web than they initially were. There's one thing I just kind of want to read. Any of you all out there that enjoy commenting, and I think that actually the numbers are significantly small, the audience that actually do comment, but those of you that do, if you get into back and forths with something, understand that there's a very strong chance it's a bot. And if you think about that for a second, all you're doing is wasting your time. Very, very, very few people will read someone else's comments. Some people do. Again, you might be one of those people, but you'll be surprised at the number of people that don't actually ever look at the comment section. They just listen to the video, watch the video, whatever, right? It depends. Many of us just, take content in different ways. But there are a larger number of bots online than there used to be. They used to say it was roughly, back in 2018, they were saying humans were about 62% of web traffic and malicious bots about 20%, benign bots about 18%, so 38% bots in general. Humans are saying now represent less than half the traffic. So 49% of the traffic's actual people, while malicious bots, they're saying, are about 37%. So almost to the level of what all bots were. And apparently now there's another 14% of benign bots, so even fewer benign bots nowadays. So this is something they're doing to cause problems, cause rifts, cause people to sit there and fight themselves, cause people to have their butts hurt and thusly get depressed and stuff. A lot of people are starting to understand this concept of ADHD, and some of them are actually pretty pissed off because the word disorder actually might not be fair. And this is something that many people, especially the spiritual ilk, have been talking about for eons, that the children that would be coming in, the violet ray children, if you will, are coming in almost fully awake and are deep state has worked very hard to calcify, as one example, the pineal gland, but there's many things they've done to dumb us down. And they've done it with schooling. They knew this was coming. This has been prophesized for a long time. Many of us knew about it from both sides of the fence. This nothing surprising. The exact date was always kind of up in the air. We're a little past the date many people thought it kind of was, but it definitely looks like we're heading into much closer proximity to it, especially based off of what's happening in the world. All that said, a lot of these kids that are quote-unquote ADHD, a lot of them are boys that they're diagnosing this way. And boys are just hyperactive. We always have been. That's why we climb trees and stupid stuff like that. That's why we break things, smack sticks on stuff. I don't know, we're just retarded. That's what we do. But they don't like that. That's not good in the school classroom. But that's also what the study points out, is the fact that a lot of the schooling is done in such a way that may not benefit children that learn this way. One of the reasons why, and I've got a friend that's exec at a Montessori school, and it's one of the reasons why that's an effective program. It seems weird sometimes when you think about it because it's not conventional, but that's actually what's brilliant about it. They find what works for a child. They find what they gravitate towards, and then they utilize those teaching methods or those teaching tools to try to help further the child's understanding and growth. So it's kind of a neat concept. Again, I'm not real fond of teachers in general because I think there's been such a piss poor job done for such a very, very long time that it's hard to give them credit, and no offense, and they're the ones that talk about how important they are. And again, I know there's some of you are teachers out there. I'm not trying to be a dick, but you can't argue that the scores have gone down. And I know teachers don't have any say. You can't really step out of your lane. You get in trouble by the administration. Your union will get pissed. I got you. I know it sucks when you have to step out from the crowd. It really, it sucks. Yeah, sure does. There's not one person that has stepped out of the crowd and not said, yeah, that's not easy to do. So that's not really an excuse, just so you know. We're going to look back at ourselves, what we did and what we didn't do when we look back on our lives. And I'm telling you, those that I just wanted to stay hidden a little longer, maybe not the best approach. Sometimes people, again, how to start a movement. I should play it, but, I'll play it again. It's a great video. I've played it many times. Many of you have seen it, hopefully, but look it up if you haven't. YouTube, how to start a movement. Dude dancing in the grass. It's one of the best videos ever. It's about 2.5 minutes of your life, and you'll be like, whoa, you'll be changed forever. You can be that first person by stepping out. That's what's powerful. May not have been easy, but was it rewarding? Yes. Yes. And I think most people would agree with that. Might have to adjust your life a bit, but Speaker Mike Johnson sketches course correction in the DHS policy thing. This is just kind of proof to me that Kristi Noem, whatever, was sacrificed as a deal made to the politicians in Congress. They'll probably never admit it. And they were trying to say it was too little, it was a little too little. But we're talking about some sort of pullback on some of the ICE stuff, some sort of pullback on the rhetoric about just going after everybody rather than just specifically criminals, which is important that we really do distinguish. There was someone in the Republican Party that mattered that was trying to get us to stop just blanket. We're going to get rid of everybody. Yeah, that's a harder path anyways. And based off of how things have gone, it would never happen. So we kind of got to be a little understanding that we can't necessarily have 100% of this exactly how we want it, but we're certainly getting a majority of it. Donald Trump's talking about the Save America Act, and the Senate needs to be a leader and get it done.
Is Senator Thune listening to you when you say you want to pass the Save America Act? He says there aren't the votes to do it right now. What's your response?
Well, he's got to be a leader. If he's a leader, he's got to get him. It's the most popular bill I've ever seen put before Congress. And it's voter ID and it's voter. You have to be able to be a citizen to vote. It's called citizenship. And we're also adding in no men playing in women's sports, no transgender mutilization of our children, and no mail-in ballots, fake mail-in ballots. We have none of that, except in the case of the military, etc. It is the Save America Act is the most popular bill I think I've ever put before Congress.
The Senate does not want to pass this. They don't. 85% of the people want this. 85% of the Senate doesn't. I mean that. They don't want it because a lot of them aren't there because of actual votes. They don't want it because they realize they'll never get elected again, especially if they vote against this. They don't want it because they realize this will damage elections in their states and all the stupid politicians of the deep state in their states. They don't want it because it will actually go a long ways towards resolving many of our problems. Having a hard time getting people out of this country? Well, it's because we've got politicians that we can't get to back America first. Having a hard time getting anything passed in Congress that doesn't just suck the life out of the rest of the nation? Yeah, it's because we've got a bunch of bought and paid for bureaucrats doing business friends, doing deals with everybody, as long as you put some money in my pocket. They don't want it, but they have to because they supposedly work for us. Now, how Thune does this, I don't know, because the threat of what's going to happen to you if you don't vote for this might be enough to actually cause 5, 6, 7, 8 Republicans, maybe more, to try to vote against this. Oh, there was something in it that didn't make sense. Trump's like basic things, 5 lines, that's it, nothing else. One bill, black and white, no riders, boom. Again, this is the most important thing, and how this it's playing out how it needs to. Everybody's being given a chance to do the right thing. Very few seem to be taking us up on the offer, by the way. It's annoying as hell. Thune's got it scheduled, Senate vote. And this is the thing. This vote's going to be like whoever doesn't vote for this. Doesn't matter who you are. Doesn't matter who you are. We are coming to get you out of office. That's it. End of story. You will be removed. Go ahead. 85% of the population wants this. Put your money where your mouth is, senators. I want to see it, especially you Democrats. You want to line up on your party when your party's going to specifically say no? You're not going to get elected again. You'll get primaried, either by a Democrat that actually will sign something like this, is pro-legal immigration, or independent, or possibly a Republican. Independents are going to be a huge new voice. And as I've said before, and a lot of people hate it, I don't care. It doesn't bother me at all, because I'm an independent, always have been. You know why? Because I don't want to be a Republican. Republicans have always annoyed me too. And I don't want to be a Democrat, because they've always annoyed me. That's why I'm independent. I don't want to be either. And there's a lot of people that feel like me. I agree with you guys, Republicans, on just about everything, and I vote with you. Always. But every once in a while, you guys get off into the crazy sauce, and I'm like, nah, I think you're nuts. You guys paint with a broad brush sometimes. I don't think that's true. It's real stupid. I keep hearing that. It's like, no one country is stupid. It's not how it works. We are fighting the freaking deep state. Keep that in mind. When you paint with a broad brush, keep that in mind, because there's a bunch of people you just put paint on that don't deserve it. It's not what we're here to do, especially the religious people. It pisses me off even more because we're all God's children. Well, it's different. They believe in a different God. Oh, so it's okay to kill them now? Even though it's one of the 10 Commandments and they're not actually trying to threaten you? We're just being told they are? Nobody's at your front door beating it down, are they? Again, this is just like, it's a mess. And again, I want to see it fixed. I want to see people stand up for fucking what's right. And I want to see these politicians fall down for fucking sucking. They are just shit. I apologize if I'm pissing anyone off. I'm not trying to. Hopefully a lot of you guys are like, fuck, say it, peace on, Dan. I hope. Let me get back to reality for a second. Here's Chuck Schumer just being a douchehole and admitting what we all know is the problem.
It's about voter registration. It allows ICE to kick tens of millions of people off the rolls, and they don't tell them until Election Day, and you show up and you say, you're not registered anymore. You're not registered here. You're
Why are they not registered? Because ICE kicked them off. Why did ICE do it? Because you're not legal.
not on the rolls. And they say, I didn't know that. This is a bill that destroys the country, and it is not about showing ID when you show up to vote. It's about the voter registration rolls, destroying them, purging them, not letting people know, and taking the rights in a algorithm put together by ICE, put together by Doge and Musk. It's an outrage, and that's why so many people don't want to pass it.
First off, douchehole, it's not even an algorithm. You're making it far too complex. It's a query. It's a binary field. Yes, no field. Are they citizens? Yes, no. All right, run a query. Select all where that field equals 1 or whatever. Boolean true or yes or whatever the shit. Done. No algorithm. Just a quick data pull. Now, as far as keeping track of what fake people you try to add after we remove them all, no, that's an algorithm. There you go. Now we're talking about an algorithm. An algo, as the people that try to sound cool. That's the new algo, man. Yeah, no, the algo's brilliant, you know? People are retarded. Rep. Anna Paulina Luna fighting the fight, too. Love it. She's getting on it.
This is really 100% on Leader Thune. I know for a fact the American people have told their senators what they want, both the Democrats and Republicans. I think the number for Democrats is over 71%. Even Fetterman came out in support of this, which we know that Fetterman might not align with us all the time, but on this issue, he's pretty good, and here's what his own people want. And so, again, this is something that the Senate is going to have to act on. But look, I'm not going to hold my breath. If I did, I'd probably pass out before the Senate decided to actually do something. And so what I'm anticipating is if they don't do the right thing, we're going to have to stick it on FISA. FISA's must pass. That's the only way we're going to get it done, but we will get it done. And it's good that Speaker Johnson is on the same page on this issue, as well as the president so vocally supporting it.
Really quickly, I've heard a lot of talk about this talking filibuster, okay? And I don't even know if Thune's going to do it. Could it possibly, real quick, could it possibly backfire if you gave the Democrats a stage like that to do a big, heroic talking filibuster? What do you think about that?
I think the one thing I'm finding out about Senate is they're notoriously lazy, which is why they move so slow. And so, I mean, eventually they'll probably run out of life force in an effort to do that. But, you know, again, voter ID is one of the most important issues in the world. So even if, you know, you give them a platform, I don't care. I want it signed into law. And I think that if that's the way that you have to do it, then so be it.
I'd say it would make, if they televised it especially, it would make it like popular as hell. In fact, I'd be a bunch of stupid people, probably myself included, that would attempt to live stream parts of it. There's no way I'm going to stay awake for 24 hours with them. Please. Unless it matters, because that actually might be kind of cool. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see. I actually would consider it, possibly. That would suck. I'd probably get a lot of sleep the day before or some crazy, have a bunch of caffeine. Almost wish I was more like my friends, because that'd probably make it easier. Tim Scott, even getting in on the action. Check it out.
I think the talking filibuster would actually improve comity in our chamber and require us to be present. That might pull some Democrats off the sidelines and get them to vote for this bill. Because at the end of the day, this is about voter integrity, and every demographic in the country, Joe, supports it. Why not do common sense, make America proud?
For sure. Conmedy. It's funny. It's a good word. And it just dawned on me. I was doing a Law of One, recording the stuff for my sessions 93 and 94. We're almost done with the series, by the way, for any of you guys that care. But it's Thursdays. I do it live, but it's actually it's better if you haven't done any of them. You should start back at the beginning and just watch them. It's deep. It's heavy. It's big into manifestations, big into why we and how we exist. But all that said, the one I just recorded, 94, I literally had to look up 10 words on how to pronounce that. I'd never seen the words in my life. Ever. It's like, where are all these words coming from? Man. I actually should have looked up what they meant. I didn't even get that far. I'm just like trying to figure out how to say them. It's hard as hell. Top DOJ prosecutor says tens of thousands of non-citizens are on voter rolls. Dozens illegally voted. These numbers are used. This is the thing. Whether or not they go and vote, I honestly think the number of illegal people that actually go and vote is probably, depending on where you're at, but it's probably largely a smaller number because they just don't want to get in trouble. A lot of them don't want to show up on the radar. It's just easier to stay under the radar. But some of the more outrageous ones that, are paid to do that have some sense of protection they feel. All that said, DNI Gabbard and FBI, they're going to release declassified documents over the next 10 days. John Solomon did a pretty good job on this. It's a little long, but what the hell? We'll leave it as it is.
Now, over the next 10 days, Steve, we're going to have a lot more. We are going to be able to get, for the first time, I've been able to start processing these documents, large body of evidence that's in the intelligence community that raises concerns about foreign interference in our elections. That'll probably be the end of this week or early next week. The documents are explosive. They're really remarkable. And what's most remarkable is that all this has been kept a secret from the American people, possibly President Trump in some cases, until recently, of course, when his team told him. I think there's a lot there. And then in between those two things, we're going to reveal another code-named FBI investigation that targeted President Trump, one you've never heard of before, one that may be among the most troubling. We have Crossfire Hurricane, of course. We've got Plasmic Echo, and we have the third one that targeted the January 6th investigation, Arctic Frost. There's another one that is really deeply troubling. It's troubling to the FBI. It's troubling to the intelligence community. It seems to involve speech delimiters. In other words, if you said something or you spoke a certain way about a certain issue, you potentially were deemed a national security threat to the United States and you were put under an assessment and potentially criminal investigation. So I learned of this operation because I was targeted in 2022. I had to cooperate with the Justice Department. When the Justice Department and I talked, they realized that their entire theory of the case was ludicrous. But as a result of that, I've been on a 2.5, 3-year mission to get these documents, to get the truth out about what happened. Recently, FBI agents working for Kash Patel found this operation, found the skiff that it was hidden, found the code word name for it, found the prohibited access files. So one of the things that Chris Wray's people did is they would start these political investigations targeting Trump or even someone else. They would keep it off the books. Most people could not see it in the FBI Sentinel system. This one was one of those well hidden as a result of some senior leadership that worked around Kash Patel. There were people that were in this era that knew what was going on. In some cases, maybe even been required to work on certain things. They knew what was going on, and they've been guiding Kash Patel to these records and helping him find these records in the labyrinth of secrecy that Chris Wray's FBI created. So these senior executives are really helping uncover some really jaw-dropping stuff. And I think in the next couple of days, people will see that as well. And so the focus in this grand jury subpoena that went in the last few days to Maricopa County, seized many gigabytes of election data, is the 2024 election, which is interesting because President Trump won there. But there is a discovery that was made by congressional observers. Every year, the House Administration Committee sends observers, one Democrat, one Republican, to various voting centers. One of the teams, the Republican-Democrat team that went to Maricopa County, observed something very disturbing. They took pictures. They wrote a long report. Congressman Abe Hamadeh hinted at this in an oversight letter recently. The information in that report was so troubling to the FBI, and when coupled to the things that the Arizona Senate found in 2020 that were raised as concerns, and the things that Hamadeh and Kerry Lake raised in 2022, they were able to get a grand jury subpoena from a federal grand jury and execute the transmission of a large amount of voter data. They're going to go through that data, looking for some of the telltale signs that were in this congressional report. I hope in the next couple of days to make that congressional report public so everybody can see what it was that observers on Brian Stiles' House Administration Committee saw. Brian Stile himself acknowledged that they were working with federal authorities on this specific Arizona matter. So you got Congress working with the FBI. And I think this is phase 2 of about a 5-phase look at states, particularly blue states or blue areas of states where elections are not administered the way the law says they're supposed to be. And as a result, the FBI may come in and prosecute people because it is a federal felony if you don't follow your state's laws, if you don't treat everybody the same under your state law. So that's where we're at today.
This is what I think is the most important part about what we're going through right now. It is the fact that many of us don't quite realize that many, I don't mean you per se, but I mean the larger we, right? Like many of us don't realize we're in the middle of figuring it out, of seeing the corruption, of seeing the fact that our politicians don't care at all. Like, we thought they did, but all this evidence is being shown. 85%. I mean, that's a pretty solid number. And again, I've talked a lot about this. This is about that progressive number. And everybody always said 80-20, 80-20, right? And it's like, it's more like, probably more like 7% left. It's got to be under 10%, I think. And I think we're totally whittling away on that. The progressive group is going to get whittled down to the small little letter that they affiliate with. And those people that identify as a letter more than as an American, as a piece of this population, as a whatever, a member of the planet. But no, I'm a letter. I'm Q or L or B or J or upside down fancy face. I don't know how that works for like the picture languages, you know, like the ones that use like Asian languages that have the little symbols and stuff. Someone said picture language. I don't know if that's correct. Is that? I don't know. It's a different way to reference it, though. I knew what he meant. I was like, man, I guess it kind of works. I'd say symbol languages, but maybe it's not correct. Drawing video shows victim's point of view after a migrant suspect shoved him onto the subway. This dude, by the way, he's from another country, and he's here. I don't know if legally or not. He's from Honduras. Yes. He's Honduran. He's a Honduran. Anyway, I feel like there's a picture somewhere. It's probably not this guy, but yeah, he pushed him into the subway, and the dude was taking pictures. Such a bummer that it doesn't show. Unfortunate. The outside, the one that makes you click it, that had the video, and it showed the dude like showing it, and then the guy, there was a dude, a random bystander, that after this homeless guy pushed two people, one really old and one younger, onto the tracks, which there's a giant electric rail. If you hit that, you would die a horrific death. I think they might have moved those up maybe in some case. I don't think so, but whatever. I don't know. Who cares? But yes, someone accosts him and he's like, you dude. And then he looks back and he's like, are you dudes okay? And he comes and offers him a hand to get him the hell out of there. Actually reminded me of my buddy Paul. I'm going to have him on. He's going to talk about a program he's got, Stars. They're friggin' awesome as hell. And we're going to talk. It helps veterans and stuff. So, Paul, I'm going to reach out to you, buddy. But, yeah, give me a chance. It's just, we're at the end of the week. This is where shit gets serious for me, man. I don't have any time for nothing. But that's it. Homeland Security's innovative approach. Instead of relying on third-party owned facilities, ICE is now purchasing properties across the country. ICE is doing things differently. We're changing the way the game is played, and it's freaking awesome. Trump, congratulations to Clay Fuller of Georgia's 14th Congressional District on getting such a high percentage of the vote. With 12 Republicans running, we want to make the next vote too big to rig. Clay will be the great congressman. He will never let you down. And by the way, the 14th Congressional District is Marjorie Taylor Brown. Marjorie Trader, I should call her, right? So, yeah, F her. F everything about her. That chick is not cool. And be nice to her if you ever see her. Don't ever do anything mean to her. I don't ever want that. No. But shit, we got her out of office. We won. We won already. We don't need to gloat. Trump is, he's gloating a little. March 10th, election updates. 5 wins, 0 losses. Good job. 100%. Yeah, it would work. Apparently 4 of them were in, I don't know. What the hell? Which one's Georgia and which one's, I think one's, was it Missouri or Indiana, Illinois? I don't know. I don't remember what the other one was, frankly. Oh, this will help. Hang on. We'll find out together, and I'll just look stupid. I'm fine with that. I've spent enough of my life there. It's cool. Congressman, what was that, Mississippi? Oh, I guess that's what that is. Oh, okay. Those that live in the state probably know. They're like, dude, it's my state. Sorry. My state's long and skinny. I know what it looks like. Mississippi, yo. 4, his section. Mike Ezel wins. And then we got Mississippi as well. Cindy Hyde-Smith won. Mississippi, Michael Guest wins. Congress, Trent Kelly wins in Mississippi. And then we've got Georgia's 14. Clayton Fuller advances. So good for him. There you go. Yeah. Stupid's fun. You got to live in the land of stupid. Can't be afraid to be stupid, folks. Especially if you're going to be in public. Because you're going to do something stupid. Guarantee going to do something stupid. So if I do enough stupids, you got to be like, you just did something stupid, right? No big deal. It happens. Not the end of the world. I'll do it again. It's fun, kind of, actually. If you lean into it, I'm telling you, it's like a bobsled. It's great. Paxton, his rival, John Cornyn, the guy we definitely know. This is another thing that's kind of tripping me out, how this one's playing out. Trump's kind of like, I don't know, I'm going to choose one of you and the other better back out. And Paxton's like, I ain't backing out for shit. And Trump's like, well, that might work against you. And then so kind of funny how things are playing out, because I think that was part of the plan. Make Cornyn think Trump's actually thinking I'm going to, all right. So Cornyn's launching a faith advisory council, and it's helmed by a Soros-linked pro-amnesty pastor. So anyway, it's just funny. Cornyn's trying. He's horrible from what I understand. Again, Texas ain't my pony. But I feel like I'm a big enough channel where I should kind of keep, because it matters, I think, what's going on down there a little bit. So y'all, put it in your language, shucks. God bless your heart. Dude, fix this shit, man. You guys are being taken over. Austin, I don't know what the shit happened there, man. Shit. I think it's the water. Something weird in it. Before FBI subpoena, congressional observers flagged a commingled ballots in Maricopa County Center. And this is a big part of why they think they came rushing in, especially the Senate, too. So all of the stuff's going to come out of Maricopa. I don't want to spend a lot of time because, frankly, we don't know anything yet. Dozens of oil tankers divert to the Red Sea as Saudis reroute crude flows. Now, I do want to point out, this is... the Red Sea is a little different than many of us realize. What, Strait of Hormuz? Wow. The amount of pain to get back to this. Anyways, I'm sure I just edited about 24 hours of shit. Anyway, budge. This is the area. Now, again, this is Strait of Hormuz, okay? Around up here, we've talked about it. So this is these islands. They've got all sorts of shit over there. They've shot some missiles at some boats, too, by the way. We're going to talk about that. So the country's really affected by this. Dubai, Qatar, because they don't have any other way outside of this stupid strait, right? What is this, guys? Saudi Arabia. But Saudi Arabia's also got this thing called the Red Sea. The Red Sea is for immediate loading and unloading of passengers only. No parking. The Persian Gulf, which is, again, yes, Iraq, Iran, all that good stuff. They have to go through the Strait of Hormuz. They have this area down here, but, well, Saudi Arabia has kind of got some control over that, right? And this part of Africa is not going to attack, or Djibouti better not attack. Be interesting if they do. Keep that in mind. Djibouti and what is this, Eritrea? We might learn about that country soon. And we got Somalia. Oh, shit, really? This is where Somalia is. Think about that for a second. There's a lot of Americans right now that should have just been like me that's like, dude. And then there's a few of you really smart people that are like, Dan, how'd you not... I've told you guys my geography skills are low. That's why I pull maps into things, because I know my weakness. Somalia's down here. Right here on the Red Sea side of things. That is very interesting. Deep State they're fantastic how they've controlled the oil choke points. Now, this is one of the things that's funny right now is they are using this against the rest of the world, the oil prices. But Trump knew that. He prepared for this. And the rest of the world's having to spend some SPR. We're going to talk about that, Strategic Petroleum Reserves. Hormuz, supposedly they've mined some stuff, thrown some mines in there. They're feeling like there's only a few hundred, maybe 100, like few dozen to 100, maybe. And Trump's like, look, if there's any mines in there, we're literally you're going to have to go pick them back up. No. So I will see. I think I've got it in the Iran section when we get specifically into that, but it's still just kind of, it's kind of crazy how it's playing out. Anyway, Peter Navarro's talking about all this stuff with the oil. The fact that Trump is actually involved in helping the rest of the world kind of push oil back into the markets. We're opening things up with Russia. There's a lot of things we're doing. This is specifically an attack on, I think ultimately, and others have said this too, it's not like I'm the only one. I feel like I'm in a group of people saying this, but we're going after the city, London, the city within the city. The city of London, I guess it's supposed to be called. And that is who we are going after. The control mechanism. And we've already gotten them to break off on a few things. And a replacement's already been created. This is a very amazing time. And the fact that it's playing out the way it is super cool too. So here's Peter Navarro talking about a lot of this stuff. And I love the fact that he's still working for the administration. Bannon's not, but Peter Navarro is. And I don't know how often he goes on Bannon. I'm curious. You guys know? One of you guys email. If you guys watch Bannon much, any of you guys, let me know. I'm curious. Because I would wonder if he's on that show. That would be curious to me.
Peter Navarro is a senior counselor for trade manufacturing at the White House. He's with us now. I imagine that the economic side of this story, Peter, that strait has got to be the main concern, right?
Rob, I want to explain the Iran terror premium. When President Trump says that after this is over, we get the other side of it, oil prices will not only go back down to the $60 range, they'll be lower over time. Caroline Levitt said the same thing today. Yeah. What they mean is this, Rob, for over 45 years, because of the geopolitical risk associated with Iran's terror, with its terror through proxies like Hamas, Hezbollah, and the Houthis, what that has done, and there's well-documented studies on this, is effectively raise the price of a barrel of oil $5 to $15 above what otherwise market conditions would dictate, from pure geopolitical risk associated with Iran. Right. And it's cost over these 45 years something like $10 trillion of slower GDP growth. So to neutralize the Iranian terror is to get rid of this Iran terror premium on oil, and it all hovers around this Strait of Hormuz and the accident of geography that gives us a terrorist state in Iran near that Strait of Hormuz. And that's why the president is the first leader to recognize this. And it's not just that there's an imminent national security threat because of the ballistic missiles and the nukes that Iran has. Yeah. It's also this Iran terror premium that we can stop paying and the world will stop paying.
There's so many different reasons why this was the moment to do this, and the least of which is how many times this has been, as I said, a can that's been kicked down the road. Nobody wanted to deal with this, and just because nobody else wanted to deal with it doesn't mean that he's wrong for taking it on. A lot of people that are upset that this war was brought on and think that it goes against his policies. I mean, this was the right thing to do for a number of different reasons. You just enunciated another one of them. I want to talk real quick about as far as domestic energy, because a lot of people say, why do we always talk about being energy independent. Why does it matter, the Strait of Hormuz? The president announcing America First Refining is opening this new in Brownsville, Texas, the first new U.S. oil refinery in 50 years, $300 billion deal. Saying the biggest in history, massive win for American workers, energy, and the great people of South Texas. Tell us about what this will do, and tell us why it matters what's happening in the Strait of Hormuz if we have so much oil in the U.S.
So it's a beautiful thing, Rob, that Donald Trump's policies going back to the first term have allowed us, for the first time in decades, to be energy independent, oil independent. But we're in a world where we also trade with other countries, particularly in Asia, and Asia will bear a heavy brunt of this. Europe will bear a heavy brunt. They have been, and if we can solve the problem, it will help our global economy and us as the world kind of flows with all its trade. So, sure, we will and can be energy independent. But as usual, the boss is playing three-dimensional chess and understands that basically having a good global oil market that isn't subject to the Iran terror premium is really the key to global prosperity. Remember, I told you, Ron, Rob, it's $10 trillion they've already extracted from the global economy in terms of gross domestic product drag. That's got to stop.
Yeah. I want to get to one final thing before I let you go. We had the jobs report last week. It was rather ugly for the month of February. Yes. And just to remind people, this was a month where half the country was frozen in ice and snow for about the first 2 or 3 weeks of that month. What happened last month? How do you explain that?
Yeah, well, look, I noticed a pattern in the legacy media. They're consistently misreading the actual reports. If they looked at that actual report, the numbers are totally driven by a healthcare strike and cold weather. And when you look at the average of jobs created over January and February, it's exactly what we need for steady state unemployment rate to hold. And there was great news underneath that report, as we've seen in other reports, that the manufacturing sector is strong. We continually swap these private sector, more productive, higher wage jobs for government sector jobs. Wages are rising.
Yeah.
So it's good that we can talk about this, because I want your viewers to understand that the fundamental underlying Trump economy is very strong. Inflation continues to fall at the core, and these important conversations to have, because the media gets it wrong, I think, because they want to get it wrong.
Sure.
There's just too much anti-Trump stuff going on.
And you expect March will be a stronger month?
Yes, I look. January, the manufacturing index finally turned up above 50. We had 2 straight months of that. It takes time for the tariffs to bring in the manufacturing. Construction's booming. It's a fundamentally sound economy. I wish Congress would get their friggin' act together and stop doing these shutdowns and things like that.
Yeah.
We don't need that. But it's like you can wish for things that you're never going to get, brother.
Yeah, I hear you. Peter Navarro, good to see you. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it.
I love this dude. So again, I maybe still with other people. It's okay. Not a bad thing if he is. But yeah. Anyway, let's see. Market's always fun. I got to look at it. You guys know this is a daily thing. I like to do it live when we're doing it. Right now it's 11:28. What the hell's today? Wednesday. Yeah, it's Wednesday. Oof. Gold is down a little, 51.80. It's been like hovering between 5,000 and 52, which is good. It's like the dollar. It's kind of in some sort of stability right now, which is weird. We're in the middle of a war. Why is that? Because we're showing dominance. So that is helping the dollar. Again, that's the oil. That's the inflation. Oil is up a little, but it's down for the most part. It was up over 100 for a short period of time, but it's 87, 83 right now. So still, it's not been able to kind of push itself back up. Silver sitting down a little, 85, which is, again, not a bad thing. We knew they'd try to cram it again. Bitcoin was down a little bit earlier, today. But again, they're moving money around. That's all that's happening right now. People are just moving money. And it's mostly the uber wealthy. All that said, if you've got your money stuck in, some sort of portfolio for some other company to make money off of, and that's ultimately what's happening, I would highly recommend you consider diversifying some of those funds out. If you got a 401k or an IRA, works for those. If you got a pension or something, sorry, you don't really have access to that money. It's not the same thing, unfortunately. But if you have a 401k or an IRA, that's your pre-tax money. And sometimes it's been matched by an employer, which makes it even sweeter, right? Because you've even got more in there. And you can take advantage of that. You can move it tax-free and penalty-free. Again, it's pre-tax. If you touch it in any way, shape, or form, you're getting penalized, you're getting taxed. Crap ton of rain of hell is coming down on you, right? You're going to lose 40+% of your money. I'm not joking. In any way, shape, or form, if you take the money early, you are getting hosed. If you take the money and then turn it into precious metals and then take it immediately, you're going to get hosed. Don't do that. Tax-free, penalty-free. Move as much of it as you can sideways. Turn that into as much precious metals as you possibly can. And you'll get up to 10% free silver, which, by the way, has got a multiplier that's baked in. Because, again, it's sitting at 85. That's going to easily go higher than that, especially with all the crazy stuff that's happening. And that's part of bringing the other part of the system down. Okay, the central banks, all that stuff. That's all the Rothschilds, Lords of London, all these bastards, all right? The Sassoons and all these people, right? That's all that crazy stuff. That's the new name I've learned recently. Something like that. I think I said it right. Sooms or Soons. One of the two. Sassoons or Sassoons. Whatever. You're Google. Have fun. That said, 4 data points. If you can get in touch with them quickly, 20 minutes, you're going to get a Ronald Reagan coin. It's half-ounce silver, collectible, 0.999% pure. It's from the Treasury. It's real money, but it's actually a collector, so it's worth more than that. And no matter what happens with them, when the price of silver goes up, you just look at that little coin, and I do it too sometimes, and I'm like, this thing's worth like $85. I bought this for like $30. This thing's worth like $80 now. It's like, that's awesome, right? Like, I love it. Like, it just reminds me. It just makes me happy. Makes me giggle a little bit. This is another one. I got this down around 22, I think. 22. It's sitting at 5,200 right now. Not bad. Not bad. Actually, it's a coin. I'm sure I pay a premium on top of, but still. Beautiful coin. All that said, drslikesgold.com. 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 Get out of that system. Pull your money out of their world. Get something physical that protects your buying power. We've talked a lot about it. I'm going to talk about it tomorrow. the buying power specifically. But today, we're here. DRSlikesgold.com, DRSlikesgold.com. Get out of that system while you can. Yes. Okay, so prepare yourself. But again, I love this kind of stuff. You guys know me, anybody that's been watching me for any length of time. I just think the fact that people are waking up, and I love the African American community. I've got a few friends, but not a bunch. I'm not like, I'm not like Trump. But they're beautiful. I love them. It's just there's a side of life that's so appreciated, and the different perspectives. Like, I know people from many different countries, and the different perspectives that other people bring, I find to be fascinating. I love it. And I may not even understand it sometimes, and it's just a trip, and it's cool, and it's fun to be called out in my whiteness sometimes in ways I don't even realize, like my stereotypes. Like, we got them, man. We all got them. It's fun as fuck. I love life. Anyway, this guy's going to say the F word a bunch, like I just said. I was trying to prepare you for it. He also says the N word a bunch. I'm not going to prepare you for that one. He peppers it throughout there like carpet bombing. So just be prepared. In 1 minute, you're going to hear probably a lot of N words. YouTube, I apologize. Please, discretion be provided. If anyone's got children, why are you watching my show with them? Oh my God. All the stuff I say. So anyway, this is just going to be one more strike against me. We'll try to actually start it, though.
I think America hates Donald Trump because he acts like a dad. He acts like a dad in the house. Think about the house. The dad never gave a fuck what y'all felt. He gave a fuck how the kids was mad. Nigga, I work my ass off. I'm going to sit in my couch. And that's why kids don't play with their daddy. I just think he acts like America's father. And I think that we're so used to people pandering us, making us feel loved, that if it doesn't feel like that, we like, y'all don't like this nigga. That's why I'm like, how do y'all let this nigga get to y'all? Tell him what he want to hear. He love you. That's the easiest people to be around. You can say Donald Trump is the most predictable human being alive. If you say I love him, he going to say I love you back. If you say I hate him, he going to say you're a piece of shit. So if he who angers you controls you, nigga, we control this nigga. Why we let him get to us? Donald Trump is the reason why music sucks. Donald Trump is the reason why TV sucks. Donald Trump is the reason why entertainment sucks. You want to know why? Because he's more entertaining than all of that shit in his real life. When Joe Biden was president, I didn't even know we had a fucking president.
You were scared there at the end, weren't you? Weren't you? Admit it. Admit it. I was too the first time I watched it. That's why it made it in there. And that's why we dealt with all the mad words. I didn't even count them. There should have been one, like a Tarantino count on the screen for like the Django or however you say that properly. CNN does propaganda for ISIS-inspired Gracie Mansion attackers, then deletes the tweet. A number of the bad groups got kind of busted on this. CNN, 2 Pennsylvania teenagers crossed into New York City Saturday morning for what could have been a normal day enjoying the city during abnormally warm weather. But less than an hour, their lives would drastically change, as the pair would be arrested for throwing homemade bombs. Well, that's all these are? Just homemade bombs? It's okay to throw homemade bombs. As long as they didn't do something bad, like call me the N-word. Eric, obviously called it out. Let's see. What was this one? 19 men arrived in East Coast airports Tuesday morning for what could have been a normal day enjoying a cross-country flight. That was actually pretty funny what Scott Bertrand put out. Now, I don't, again, believe the story. They didn't idiots that tried to fly a Cessna, somehow hijacked a multi-engine jet and was able to fly it at past hard point or soft, what do they call the soft points, the one in between? I don't know, they're probably past the friggin' hard points too. They literally were able to do that and then crash it into something that people that are pilots with thousands of hours haven't been able to do in simulators. I don't know. Anyway, fun story. That was fun being awake through. Boy, oh boy, people are assholes when you don't agree with them. We did the Patriot Act. You guys remember that? Man, so many of you probably hated me then. That's for sure. You love me now. Thank you. You hated my ass then. Fucking hated me. That was tough. That was a big slap in the face. That was for sure. That was when I learned, oh, okay, don't just tell everybody this shit. They can't handle it. Judicial sabotage. Obama judge blocks Trump's efficiency reforms for deportation appeals. Of course, he can't actually do what he's trying to do. He's trying to use a rule to shorten everything. Now, what's fun by some of this stuff, and I think this is actually some of what they're doing. So rules are something that really probably aren't. actually constitutional. But if those ever get fully struck down, I think there's like 3 agencies that the Supreme Court did speak about. But if the bigger picture ever gets come to, oh my goodness, that's going to be fun. So I think that's what they're trying to do with these rules. Now we've got a judge that's saying, what, I can't make a rule. We made a rule. We posted it in the number of days. That's how you do it legally. Good, this rule's illegal. What do you mean? It's a rule. You guys got crazy gas rules. Can't buy ovens that you can't do this. Your toilet can't. You have to, what? Huh? So this is opening up a larger discussion. Don't get lost in the headlines sometimes, guys. Don't get lost in the story. Dr. Oz rips. The AG James defends this New York University for its decision to get rid of this transgender nonsense. So we got a weird thing going on. I don't know. We've said the story once, but it's worth bringing up again. New York University Langone Medical Center. Letitz James is actually saying they have to reinstate their program or else. And the government's basically like saying, you can't do this to children. And Letitz is like, there's nowhere for them to go. And it's probably what she sounds like when she says it. So anyway, Dr. Oz is like, bah, and gee, Letitz, Dr. Oz is actually a doctor. Unlike you, right? I mean, most part, you're just a fraud anyways, really, but yeah. Suing schools that hide trans kids' identities from parents. This is in the Supreme Court. This is just a story that's sort of painting that again, but yeah. They literally, they found the thing that smashes their boobs down so they look like a guy. And they never told her they were doing all this stuff. They were actually being told by a counselor at the school. This is grooming, man. This is just, it's just so crazy. Like all of the counselors that have helped transition anybody should immediately be under investigation. Immediately. They guarantee have child porn on their computers. Like, I would say probably 97% of them. Just saying. That's all I'm saying. Minnesota School District allows race-based teacher stipends. That's illegal. It's illegal. You can't give someone of a certain race a different treatment than another. Not allowed. Yet, here we go, Minnesota. Going for it again. That was fun. Tim is just trying so hard to curb all the hate for him. The damage he's done to the Democrat Party is just precious. Gavin Newsom's California had 94,000 dead people that got federal lifeline subsidies. Literally. 94,000 dead people signed up for benefits. Now, most likely, why they like keeping the dead people anywhere around is because they can reuse the Social Security numbers. You see, this is a dead person. So now they can give it to someone else and let them live on. But that's illegal. Voter ID. This is all the different ways they're cheating the system, guys. The dead people is a great one, though. Like, you're dead and you signed up anew? We didn't know. Yeah, you did. That's where we got the information. Yeah, but we weren't. Look at that. Tax penalty for not having insurance in California. This is awesome, by the way. I just want you guys to appreciate this. This guy brought it up. This is what I live. I used to have a W-2 job, so I used to have insurance, and I used to get a little stupid form that I gave to the state, so the state would fuck off. Now I don't get that little thing. So America shows in California, if you don't have health insurance, you are penalized and charged $950 per adult a year. I hope. Better not be. Yeah, a year. Thank God. And for a full year, family of 4, that's $2,800 that you get the privilege of paying if you can't insure them. Now, to go on insurance myself, it's $500 a month. $950 a year versus $500 a month. There you go. I know a lot of people love insurance. I know a lot of you guys are stuck on the medicine stuff. By the way, you should totally look into my good friend OTF Special. We'll get there. But Yeah, this is what happens. This is Gavin Newsom. Like they give free healthcare to illegals, by the way. But I gotta pay $950 if I'm not insured. Now the reason they like the insurance, because they force you to go and get looked at. And then once someone looks at you, they tell you there's something wrong with you, and then now they can start charging you for drugs and all this other shit. So the insurance companies force you into the system that then poisons you. It's awesome. It's a beautiful morning. Like, it's exactly what they're doing. And so, yeah, I'll pay $950. I'll go out and get a second job if I have to pay that $950. F you, Gavin. I mean, you seem like a nice guy, too, by the way. You might be fun to hang out with. I'm just saying, you suck as a politician badly. And what you've done to the states and everything you've touched, the cities, the states. Yeah, I mean, you just ruin stuff. That's all. I think you should get out of politics. Go back to baseball. Coach baseball. That'd be cool. I'd love to see that, Gavin. The San Francisco Winos or something like that, right? That'd be a cool team. You might be like, AAA or something. But seniors are hit with billions in extra premiums from Medicare overpayments. One of the things that's happening right now by the insurance companies and the Medicare and all this stuff, and it's why it's causing premiums to go up, is because for you seniors out there, every time you go in for this Medicare stuff, the doctor is told or forced or tries to or whatever, fill in blank, to add additional things that are wrong with you so they get more money. That's all it is. Check boxes. How many of these things can we actually check on this person? The more we can check, the more money we get. Don't care what we told them. It just matters what we get. And this is why we want transparency with doctors too, by the way. Because the shenanigans they do on the back office, you guys have no idea. No, it's horrible as far as they're concerned, if we find out. There's just so much money in waste and fraud and bureaucratic, deep state, middlemen stuff, and this is being taken down. They're kind of hitting it from the top down. So we're getting down. We're going to get down into the bureaucratic level. We're going to get down to the state and city levels. It's coming. It is. I mean, a lot of you guys are already figuring it out. But yeah, seniors, you're getting rocked. Be careful on that. And again, I've talked about it before. OTFSpecial.com. OTFSpecial.com. Feel great. I love this product. By the way, and I'll put the link at the top again for the store. If you've already joined, you can just go and shop. I think you're already tied to me, so it should still be good for my world too. We're all sharing on this, but the protein powder is freaking awesome. I've used it twice now. Today was my second day, and I've been doing it just when I did the weights, and literally been doing my Unimate this in the morning. Getting extra energy. It's helping me with the energy for sure. It's just been great. It's helped out a lot in the gym. I've actually gone up a plate on just about every exercise I'm doing right now, so I've kind of pushing it, right? And it's cool. Like, I'm feeling it again. And this, the protein powder is amazing. There's stevia, cocoa, the protein, the whey protein, and it's plant-based, which is, for people that are, both sides of the fence. But it's like 4 ingredients. It's incredible. And I will say that I've gotten most of it mixed. This is my second time going on. The first time, a lot of big giant chunks. I'm going to tell you this. I drank down them chunks, and when I chewed on them, you know what it tastes like? It tasted like brownie. It tasted like brownie. It was awesome. So that was cool. Today I got fewer chunks, but the little chunks still tasted like little brownie bits in my friggin' awesome protein. So I mixed it in milk, though. I'll be honest. I've never been one to mix protein powder and water. It just sounds gross, but whatever. Some people, the idea of drinking milk sounds gross, but you can put it in like a milk-like basis thing, whatever. Great product. This Unimate is for people that are having issues with their good God, I forget. Why do I forget it all the time? There it is, insulin resistance. Because of all the crazy carbs that we eat. Cause our sugars to go up, down, up, down, up, down. Eventually your body's like, fuck this. This product, OTFSpecial.com, OTFSpecial.com, Unimate. It's a packet. You literally just mix it in water. It's awesome. Tastes like iced tea to me, the iced tea lemonade. Like the old Crystal Light, it's what it tastes like exactly. But it's delicious. It's got Unimate. It's got some science in there. Helps with the energy, and it helps you move through your day. Now, the next part, at night, you do 2 of those a day if you can. Maybe do them earlier. There is a little bit of caffeine in them, so if you're caffeine sensitive, be careful on that second one. But balance is awesome. What this does is a fibrous mixture, and it's also got some science baked into it as well. But it helps with your body and digestion, helps you feel full. So you do this right before you eat dinner. And it helps you feel fuller, and it helps because this stuff kind of gets that coating on it while it's in your stomach, and it changes the digestion a little bit. And what you'll find is you'll find your sugar numbers go down. You'll find your A1C numbers are going down without doing anything different. Keep eating how you're eating. Monitor how you monitor. Take your insulin how you're supposed to. I mean, I think you're supposed to check and make sure. And you might find that you're not using as much. This is amazing. And it's actually one of these things that you see happen. I'm not telling you to stop or change or do anything. I'm just saying start putting this in water 2-3 times a day. Drink it. And watch how your life changes and how you feel better. That's why they call it Feel Great. OTFSpecial.com, OTFSpecial.com. You will be amazed. Here's Claudia talking about it.
At age 50, my doctor kept wanting me to take a statin. I didn't want to. And finally, he talked me into trying Lipitor. It was new on the market. And within 3 weeks, I woke up one morning and I did not have legs. I could not stand. It turned out to be neuromuscular disorder. I gained like 59 pounds in 3 weeks. That's when I became type 2 diabetic. The blood sugars went sky high and they never came back down. I wanted to die. I was hurting so bad. Of course, was on metformin. And then another year after that, I started the Trulicity. I met a new doctor that I had never seen before. And she walked in the room and abruptly said, your A1C is 10.4. And I came home. I was sitting back in my bedroom and I was very depressed, very upset. I picked up my iPad and I was looking on Facebook and someone had posted a TikTok video of Yvette talking about this protocol. And I said, what have I got to lose? I ordered it that day. I started on it on October the 11th last year. By December, I had to quit taking the Trulicity because my blood sugars were going too low. And by that time, I had lost 37 pounds and my A1C was 5.1. I felt so much better too. So in January was when I actually started working on the fasting. I'm off of all medicine. My cholesterol was always like 386. Now, as of April, it was 226. I'm just so thankful.
Yeah. These products are changing people's lives. Unicity's really awesome company. The people I've worked with at them are just beautiful people. Examples of people losing weight. That's you. That's you right there. That's you to send a picture. I mean, you don't have to. Check it out. OTFSpecial.com, OTFSpecial.com. Feel great, Unicity. The products are amazing. And again, if you already joined, which I recommend you start at least with this product, it's amazing. And they do it the best. They're the best at it. But yeah, protein powder, that signal for like a Gatorade drink. They have a bone complex that tastes amazing. You just mix it in water. Again, they've got a number of really, really cool products. And certain things will fit you. The vision enhancements, this is what I'm doing because obviously I got 4 eyes. So again, they've got an amazing set of other products. Check those out. There's a little store tab, I think, when you can log in on your little account. But yeah, it's a beautiful thing. Go to OTFSpecial.com, change your life, and continue to change your life with all sorts of other really, really cool stuff. People are really pissed off at Pete Hegseth for dropping millions of dollars to give steak and lobster and fruit baskets to a lot of troops all over the world. But Biden, he blew billions on 4-star housing for illegals, right? There's a little different point of view. I guess we get the point. I hope they're not going to, yeah. I mean, they just keep doing that. They do. Well, that's enough of that at the end. All of that said, I would have liked the first lady to at least had a piece of meat come out of the shell. That would have been cool rather than just busting off pulled tendon, bust off pulled tendon. It's like, all right, where's the meat? I feel like that that old Wendy's commercial, where's the beef, back in the day. You know? It just feels like it doesn't fit. Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum proudly announces she's blocking President Trump from letting the U.S. military destroy cartels. She's been talked to by the cartels. She's doing this because of the cartels. She's controlled by the cartels. So that's what that means. And what she's saying is, yeah, I told Trump to come in and bust some ass. And I don't mean fart. We'll see what happens. Trump announces first U.S. oil refinery in 50 years to open in Texas. Get some tacos while you're down there, sir. I hear they're delicious. They love them tacos. Brownsville, Texas, baby. Right down there. Brownsville with all that oil everywhere. Dude, Texas is going to become like richer than California. You guys fucked up so hard. Maybe that's when I'll move to Texas. You guys won't even let me move in at that point. Be like, nope, we'll close the door to California. It'll be like, come on. Don't make me emigrate through Arizona into Texas. Come on, don't make me do that, man. Come on. I've been good. Come on, man. Anyway. I just want to vote liberal. Just one more time. The EU admits nuclear blunder. They're like, whoops, we stopped having nuclear power, sorry. We cut it from a pretty low amount to a super low amount. And gee whiz, it didn't seem like that worked out well for us. Anyway, the EU's toast. Von der Leyen's going to be the one that gets to get destroyed on the cross. I think that's why she won again, right? It's like, nope. We're keeping your punk ass there. We want everybody to see. Like, you know, do you remember those things where you throw the baseball and try to hit the thing and drop the person into the water? I feel like that's kind of like what we got going on here. We're like, nope. You're going to be the clown in the tank. Everybody's going to watch it happen to you. You get to, be the face for mankind. All right, some Iran stuff. The Pentagon has confirmed that about 140 to 150 troops have been injured in Operation Epic Fury, including 8 severely and 108 who returned to duty. Again, the 8, it's funny, is that even that General Cooper guy, I think it's Cooper. Is it Cooper? No, Raising Cane, that guy, sorry. He said, that the one that fell was in Kuwait and something that happened was a medical thing. So, again, I saw that other story that he was damaged by the first day attacks and then died. I don't know. I don't know how. Yeah, I feel like they're being told slightly differently. I don't know what the deal is with that. It still confuses me, by the way. Because when Raising Cane said it, I'm like, wait, what? Huh? Wait, that's what the other thing said. You show you guys' official thing, I guess, or whatever. But it's unfortunate. So some people have been injured. A lot, but it could be a lot worse, I guess. Donald Trump says if Iran has put out any mines in the Hormuz Strait, and we have no reports of them doing so, we want them removed immediately. If for any reason mines were placed, and they are not removed forthwith, the military consequences to Iran will be at a level never seen before. If, on the other hand, they remove what may be placed, it will be a giant step in the right direction. Additionally, you're using the same technology and missile capabilities deployed against drug traffickers to permanently eliminate any boat or ship attempting to mine the Hormuz Strait. They will be dealt with quickly and violently. Beware, President Trump. That's my point. I think they're flying over. We've lost some drones. They've shot down, and I got the story somewhere, like 11 Reaper drones, right? And the way the story put it's funny. There's like $330 million drones. And it's just like, 11 of them. Well, shit, yeah, $30 million each. Well, better than a manned craft being shot down. And they do just loiter, and they're pretty slow, and they got weapons on them. So, yeah, man. All right, that's a cost of war. These missiles we shooting around are pretty expensive, too. People are freaking out. It's costing $1 billion a day, they're saying. That's probably true. Our military costs no matter where it is, though. I mean, when we're dropping munitions, that's expensiver. Rather than just, we already got to pay for the carrier and all the people and all that stuff, right? 365 days a year, we got to pay for that thing. 3 vessels struck in the Strait of Hormuz as Iran vows to launch its most intense assault so far. 3 vessels in its most intense assault so far. 3 things got hit. 3. Maybe that's all that went through. But it wasn't very intense. I don't think they've sunk. They've got holes. They're damaged. People have fled. And I don't believe anyone's died. Some of them have skeleton crews, and they're still maybe smoking. Some of them got the fires out finally. There was a weird thing where Trump, someone, Secretary Wright or someone like that, said that we would actually help transport ships through. That was immediate. That was taken down shortly thereafter. Supposedly, there's been no discussion. That's never come from Trump. It might have been something they talked about in a back room that maybe Wright thought had happened, and he kind of got out in front of the Trump on that, which will get your ass in serious trouble. They always phrase it too. I don't want to get it in front of the president. It's like, yeah, I bet you get in front of the president, you get your ass handed to you. Now, we get into some very kind of funny stuff here in a second. Iran's new supreme leader, Mojtaba Khamenei, is a no-show at his own secession rally. The charisma of a boiled potato, they're calling. But yes, he supposedly didn't make it. Now, this is actually supposedly...
Position leader...
Look at that cat. Look at that cat.
That's just pretty funny. And then this is like, I think that the prime minister dude right here. So this is like a legitimate, they put a cardboard cutout of the guy, the leader, which I guess at this point in time, this might be the best they can do. I'm assuming all the Kinkos got blowed up in the city, right? They got no Kinko. They got, fuck, how do we print this shit now? Well, it's tougher. Cat B put this out. It's too damn funny. Marco Rubio realizing he has to step in as the new supreme leader of Iran. Very, very funny. The full-size picture is better than the thumbnail. And then I added sour cream and guacamole because of the supreme leader concept. I probably should have put cheese on there too. Would have made it better. That's for sure. But I had sour cream and guac. I mean, you know, guac's expensive here in California right now. I just want you to know that. Not really. Yeah, this was more fun. Il Donald Trumpo he was apparently golfing with the supreme leader. That's probably why he wasn't able to make the thing. He's always got him there. And then, well, Trump took it a step further.
And it's very cool.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't that great? Just went up yesterday.
I think that's where I don't know if that was where the Declaration of Independence was or whatever, but yeah, he's just making fun of them now. I mean, just hardcore. Like he's being as disrespectful as I am, as we possibly can. Apparently that was Laura Ingraham with him. Yeah, so here's the $330 million in U.S. Reaper drones suffer, right? Makes it sound huge. That's 11 of them. Oh, all right. Well, shit. It's 11 of them. Here's a picture of one firing something while it's flying around. This is why they get shot down. It's not that hard. They're not that high up either, right? So, yeah, they're going to get blowed up, but they're not manned. And they're just weapons platforms that generally come back and land again and then just do this all day long and blow people up. So, yeah, there you go. There's a hellfire. Raining hell down on them. Hellfire. That's how them Southern people talk, for those of you that don't know. You Yankees. All you Yankees out there. Hellfire. That was one of my favorite things they'd say in Tennessee. That dadgum guy, I wonder if he's ever said hellfire. Hell, they say hellfire all the time out there. Hellfire. Trump says U.S. military completely destroyed 10 inactive mine-laying boats. Look at that. They're like, shit. Even, I don't know if I have it, but he's like, I didn't know they had so many boats. He's like, I'm surprised. We're blowing them up everywhere. It was fantastic. So we got 10 more mine layers, apparently. So sounds like they're inactive, though. So Trump's like, all right, we haven't put any mines out that we know of. I don't think there was anything in here that we missed that mattered. Oil reserves supposed to be released, yeah. From other countries, not ours, per se. Let's see. Israel demands UN designation, IRGC as a terrorist. Yeah, Trump threatens trade embargo with Spain. Yeah, this thing with Spain's kind of interesting. So I don't know. We'll see how that continues to play out. Spain is in bad shape just with everybody right now. I feel like they're going heavy communist right now. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, drone attack at the Dubai airport. Supposedly the supreme leader's safe and sound, says Tehran, because they'd tell us the truth no matter what. Boeing wins a $289 million Israeli contract for 5,000 smart bombs. Probably just helping keeping Boeing in business. And there's probably some of the stuff, like, again, our medium and high range, stuff that we making it awesome all day long. We probably going into, expanding extra lines maybe. But all that said, the BLU 110 bomb casing, and then they just throw fins on that bad boy. That's probably one of the bunker buster ones, I'm guessing. So cool. China, they're kind of pissed off right now. They've gotten screwed because of the Iran war disruptions, and then on top of that, the whole little snafu at the Panama Canal where they no longer had any ports at all. Been kicked out of the Panama Canal. Nice try. And that was a big, big smack on the face. So, very cool. Many people wondering what the hell's going on with Florida AG James Uthmeyer. I agree with this person. I'm going to play the thing, and then I agree with this person. It's MJ Truth, and I think she actually, I don't know. Anyway, I agree with her, and we got a couple posts from her, 2 in a row. Check it out.
Would you tell the parents to delete TikTok from their kids' phones? Look, parents have tough decisions to make. I do think parents need to reevaluate what is the appropriate age to give your kid a cell phone where they have the internet at their fingertips. When I was 15, 16 years old, that didn't exist yet. So today, you see kids now, and I know, my 5-year-old daughter is so smart and so cute and so persuasive. It's hard for me to say no to her. I can only imagine what it's like when suddenly she's 13 or 14 and all the other kids have them. So that is a tough decision to make. I'll tell you this, she's not getting a phone at 14 or 15 years old. No way. TikTok, very, very dangerous. We see a lot of predatorial activity there, a lot of pornography that's still on the site. We're working to hold them accountable. We have a recently passed piece of legislation, SB 3, that says under 14, it's illegal for these social media sites to let them on. 14 to 16, you can have access, but only after explicit parental approval. The 11th Circuit Court of Appeals recently upheld that law. It is the law of the land. We're giving companies, really until another 30 days from now to get straight with regard to the under 14, 60 days to ensure parental consent is in place, and then we will begin filing lawsuits as fast as you can see. So do you see it as
If the deep state still has control of whatever application the individual is using, your child, for example, the second they mark it as I'm not that age, the second they mark it that I'm underage, understand immediately pedophile places within the deep state are honing in on your child. Again, it's a checkbox in a database, guys. That's all it is. And they look for it. Let's find minors. Perfect. Now we know where they are. Now we know where their device is. Now we know all we got to do is just get around the bullshit blocks, which means only children can talk to them. Okay, I'll just pretend to be a child. Because most of the age verification stuff, everyone's like, kids don't have IDs. You're right. So what's it ask you? Are you over 13 years of age? Yes or no? We asked. Can't prove it. Can't verify age. And then that gets us towards the digital ID. All these people are pushing us in a direction, and again, many say the road to hell is paved with good intentions, but they're all helping pave the road to hell. If you've got a child and you're not directly involved with what's happening on their phone and just grabbing it from them once in a while and logging in, and if you don't even know how to do that, you're retarded. Get involved. Stop expecting others to protect your child. Your child's going to get ruined if you don't get involved. There's no excuses. Don't expect somebody else to do it for you. This idea is stupid. It's just, I think, kinda the point. Yeah, and Texas is doing this now too. Again, you guys are doing it for the right reasons. I get that. It will not work the way you want. It is intended to work the opposite. Kids should be, you should not have to put protections in for people that shouldn't even be using the shit to begin with. That's the problem. You're trying to make it for PG for everybody. It's not how it works. Kids should not be on that shit. Chinese company fined $50 million for IP theft. Truly a drop in the bucket. This is a Hytera company, which they recruited employees from Motorola and stole the technology because they're Chinese. They have no choice. Once they get into a Chinese company, they're, believe me, they were brought in by the CCP. You're like, you have to tell us everything you know, all the codes you've got. And they probably, the more they brought with them, the better the deal was for them. So they stole a bunch of stuff from Motorola and then took it to China's company. This is how China rolls. They're being done, though. They're being done in, anyways. Probably a better way to say that. Yeah, cool. Not too bad. It's still long. I love you guys. I talk much. I know that's part of it, too. Can't help myself. It is a wonderful Wednesday. We've got a lot going on. I've got a bunch of editing I get to do. This is just it's my hump day. And then I get to go hang with friends later. It's like an interesting day for all of us. But be mindful, guys. We've got a major work against us. We've got powers that don't want us to win at work. Call it whatever you want, however that works for you. But your guys' ripples, your guys' abilities, what you guys are doing, how you are doing, how you're interacting with others and the rest of the world, and the people I refuse to talk to. You guys are making the difference. I love you guys. And I can't tell you how proud I am of you guys. You guys are like freaking awesome. I see what happens. I hear things. I see things. I know it's you guys. I know it's you guys. My reach is what it is, but you guys make my reach huge. And you guys are doing it. You're filtering it yourselves. You're making it your own and running with it. And that's what it's all about. I'm so proud of you guys. I have the best audience out there. Nobody can touch this. It's like that stupid song. Can't touch this. Doo-doo. And if I could crab walk, I'd friggin' be crab walking all over the place. Whatever the case is. Oh, music too. For those of you that are still here. Good chunk of you. I did something interesting this week and I like it. I basically got 8 songs. I found crazy versions, like cool ass versions of songs, or live killer versions of songs. And it started with Tom Petty, and then it just like, well, who else do I like? And who else kind of goes with Tom Petty? And it just became like, here's like 8 of my favorite kind of bands doing an amazing song in a very different version that you've maybe never heard. You've heard the song, I guarantee, but maybe never the version. And that'll be a very, very cool show, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Literally 8 songs. I got 4 blocks of 2, back to back. Some of them longer. A couple of them are 5 minutes only. Some of them are longer than that, but it is a bitchin' ass show, and I think you guys will be stoked. When I recorded it, I was like, ooh, this is so good. So good. I can't wait to listen to it again. I love you guys. So many things happening, and we're going to keep moving forward together. You guys are the best, and we are changing the world. Where we go one, we go all. It's on the Fringe with Dan RadioStyle.